Can entrepreneurs learn from family businesses? Well, the short answer to that is yes. The question is what and why? Well, the most famous homegrown theory of the family firm is socio-emotional wealth theory, and this has its origins in behavioral agency. The core idea of behavioral agency is that different reference points affect an individual's risk appetite and willingness to take risks. Now, this is important for entrepreneurs because understanding what underpins their risk appetite will affect the decisions they make, what opportunities and threats they identify or interpret, and whether they innovate or whether they imitate. Now, the idea of social emotional wealth is interesting because it pertains first to goals that are non-financial and effective in nature, and second to the implications that generating a stock of this wealth has on subsequent behavior. Now, typically, it activates risk aversion to its loss, but risk seeking when it has been lost and when it needs to be rebuilt or regained. This has notable implications when we think of innovation and entrepreneurship, which are normally associated with risk-bearing activity that must accept some uncertainty in its investments made and also a non-trivial probability of financial loss. But the family firm is often willing to actually tolerate financial loss if it means preserving social emotional wealth. Now, this raises a plethora of questions for entrepreneurship research. For instance, what if entrepreneurs have goals that diverge from profit maximization and include the preservation of outcomes that are associated with other types of goals that might have decision-making primacy? If loss of a perceived effective wealth in this way matters to an entrepreneur's decision-making, then what we might see is different types and degrees of entrepreneurship and innovation behavior, as we do see with family firms. So these insights suggest that differences we see in the spectrum of imitative opportunities to creatively destructive opportunities or incremental to radical innovation might be explained by the primacy of socio-effective goals to financial ones, acting as reference points to the individual's willingness to take risks. Again, that's a key consideration of the behavioral agency model. Another feature of family firms' innovation behavior of interest to entrepreneurs is the phenomenon of tradition. Despite appearing to be risk-averse and conservative, research finds that family firms can particularly benefit from rich legacy assets and resources that can fuel innovation through tradition. So heritage and legacy hold strategic, emotional, and organizational importance, allowing the family business to develop narrative-based advantages that cannot be easily duplicated. Tradition, while associated with ideas such as inertia, staying the course, and the continued transmission of customs, practices, and conventions from generation to generation, can be especially powerful when associated with heritage and legacies that allow family firm entrepreneurs to infuse tradition into product or brand innovations, for example. So what might appear to be rather conservative behavior is more reflective of a different mode of innovation strategy or entrepreneurship, raising questions about our assumptions of what it means for different actors or agents to engage in these activities. So in turn, then, the implications of tradition, heritage, and legacy for the form and conduct of entrepreneurial processes is really intriguing. So overall, then, I hope that you'll agree that entrepreneurs have much to learn from sound family businesses. And that's something hopefully entrepreneurs can take inspiration from when developing their own business ideas. And vice versa, family businesses themselves have still got much to learn from the fast-moving nature of entrepreneurs, and in particular, their agility.